Hello. Hello, you made it back. I am so glad to see you again. And if you have been just dipping your toe into improv and wanting to know, what else can I do? How can I elevate my game? How can I elevate my play? If you are wondering how you can do this, and you're coming from a perspective, a story, a journey of being queer, of being femme, a woman, a person living as the global majority, then you have found the right person. You're wondering if you can bring your story, your full self to the stage, and the answer is yes. Let's talk about how. Listen to me. This is a big deal. People do not like silence. Improvisers specifically do not like to be quiet. We think that the more you move, right? The more you move and the more you talk, the more the audience is going to lean in, or the more information you're going to get out. You're trying to get out the where, what, why, who in your scenes, and you're trying to figure out who other people are, where you are. And we think that all of that is going to come to us through talking. But I am telling you, when we speak and we just are rambling or we're not listening, we give up our what? Yes, our power. If you look at any of my other videos, realize that really what I am talking to you about is standing your ground and not giving up your power so easily. One way that we can do this is to relish silence. Relish it. Being quiet is power. Silence is power. When you walk onto the stage and you are quiet, your audience leans in. They don't think that you don't have it, or they don't think that you are confused. Your audience really believes that you've got it. And whatever comes out of your mouth after some silence holds more weight and more power than walking onto stage already speaking. Now, here is the thing about silence. When we walk onto stage, right? When we finally like hit our mark, we must do. We must do something, okay? And here's the beauty about silence. Silence gives you time to think. It gives you time to interact with your mimed environment. It gives you time to interact with yourself, to really see what your body is asking of you. Maybe you get on stage and you feel like, right? You feel like that. You can feel like that. Maybe you get on stage and you feel solemn, thoughtful, intrigued. Show these things through your body before you start to speak. I'm telling you, one of the things that this will help is avoiding calling for other people. And if you watch some of my other videos, specifically the one about assuming that your scene is solo, one thing that's going to help with that assumption, or one thing that's going to help with the grounding of you and the stabilization, I'll use that. The stabilization of your power is quiet. When we get on stage. We finally get on stage. We've hit our mark. We're standing where it is that we feel comfortable standing. Our energy can really get riled up. It can get energized. It can get tweaked. We're starting to get nervous. And what we will do to mitigate that nervousness is call for someone else on stage. So we'll call for someone or many people. Children, gather round. Townspeople, lend me your ears. Come, I have something to say. And you'll gather people around you. You'll ask for Janice. Janice, get in here. Did you see this thing? You'll ask for other people to come and help you. And I'm telling you, you don't need it. I believe in you. You can hold your ground and tell your story in silence. When we practice being quiet on stage, we also practice the power of silence off stage. Now, don't come for me. Try not to come for me, okay? I get it. We have been silenced. What are you talking about, Jen? I'm supposed to speak. Here is the power that I am talking to you about. When we move into a situation, whether that is on stage or off, when we are quiet for a moment, we can do many things. And some of these things are listening to our own bodies, needs, and wants. How are we actually feeling? And when we're talking about on stage, when I am talking to you about the improviser, how are you actually feeling that day? We are trained as improvisers to release what we're actually feeling. Leave it at the door is what we're told, right? Leave that at the door. Leave your emotions at the door. Whatever it is that you went through out there, it stays out there. And when you're here on the improv stage, you are creating. I call phony baloney. I call bullshit is what I call. Because the things that you are actually going through are going to affect your play. And when we get on stage and we are silent for a moment, interacting with our environment, right? When we are interacting in our environment and with our environment in silence, it gives us a moment to check in with how we want to proceed through a scene, through a story, through a character, and ask ourselves or just become aware of what our bodies and minds are capable of and are willing to do in that moment. The same thing applies off stage. What I just said right there, very important. What is your body willing to do? So we're not on stage being quiet and still. We are on stage exploring the silence. What is someone else going to say if they come on right after you? What are they saying? What do I feel? What can I do? What will my mind and body allow me to do in this moment? And now, the same thing applies off stage. I am not asking you to be quiet out there in the world. I'm not asking you to make yourself smaller. What I'm asking you to do is notice that it is possible to hold power in silence, because in that silence we are doing. We are becoming aware of what we can do, checking in with our bodies and ourselves, our minds. What can I do in this moment? What am I willing to do in this moment? And acting from a place of awareness, willingness, connected to self is a much more powerful way to act. It's a much more grounded way to move forward with your scene, right? Whether that's on the stage or your conversation, your job, your interview, your relationship. we can take a moment to check in with self, check in with the environment, and see what we are willing to do. So yes, silence is power, but we must also do. On stage, shh, quiet. Check in with yourself. See if you can find the emotion and let it come out through your face and your body. This will help you to start crafting a character. It will also help you to start understanding, this is what I do, right? I love to open mimed doors and windows. It will also help you start understanding what is around you and building that environment. Silence is power. You can do in silence, on and off the stage. Tell me how it goes. Let me know how you used silence. You can use it at the beginning of a scene. You can use it right directly in the middle of a scene. You can end a scene in silence. Oh, how powerful is that? But tell me how you use it. Tell me what it helps you to connect with. Write it in the chat. I say the chat, but in the comments, leave me a comment and I would love to connect with you and understand how you are using silence in your scenes and in your life. You can do it, and don't be afraid of the quiet. Ooh. Huh? Huh? All right. Okay. Bye for now. I'll see you on and off the stage.